Hey guys, happy Thursday. So Leanne here, and I'm coming live from my car today. We've been running around doing errands, so I figured this is probably the best time I can get on here. I've been actually meaning to get on live for the past week, but it's just been a little bit crazy. So I just wanted to get on really quickly and talk about if you have ever been paralyzed by perfection, or where you feel like everything has to be the perfect time for you to do anything, or everything has to be, the ducks have to be aligned. Because I know for me personally, those are things that I've always waited on before I can jump into something. So before we get started, if you're watching the replay, go ahead and drop replay in the comments. So have you ever been offered an opportunity or some sort of service, or been asked to do something, but you've automatically disqualified yourself or wouldn't even try because you either thought that you didn't have everything you needed, or all the skills you needed, or all the knowledge you needed, or it just wasn't the perfect time or the perfect place, or everything didn't look as good as X, Y, and Z, or you weren't as outgoing as the other person that was doing it? If you've ever kind of disqualified yourself because of something, hold on. It's like really loud right now. Okay, there you go. So if you've ever disqualified yourself automatically from something because of those reasons, go ahead and drop a 1 in the comments. So when I was like in my early 20s, the one summer before I moved from Florida to California for school, me and some of my friends, we got into playing tennis. And none of us were really like extraordinary at tennis. It was just something that we all had a common interest in, and we enjoyed it. We had a lot of fun. So we started to play. And we would meet every week, like consistently. And like I said, none of us were like really good at it. And I've never been an athletic person. I just never considered myself an athletic person. I could play sports, but I wasn't the greatest at it. So this was one thing that I was like, well, this is actually fun. And, there's no judgment. I'm in my comfort zone with my friends. We were just having a good time. So I said, well, this is a sport that I think that I can actually play. So when I left and went to California and I was in school, I was told that I needed to take a PE course. And when I looked at the available sports for me to pick, tennis was one of them. So of course I picked it because it was something that I was familiar with and I knew that I could just have fun with. So I started playing in the course, and I was just having fun because I knew I just needed to get a grade. I didn't take it too seriously because I wasn't trying to be amazing at it. And I remember one class, they were teaching us how to serve, and I think I got one ball over. It wasn't like, I just was not getting it, but we could all laugh at ourselves and we had fun. But there was one thing that the teacher was like really impressed by, was my backhanded swing. He said, you have a really strong swing, and you know how to aim the ball straight ahead and where you want it to go. And I said, okay, thanks. I didn't really think too much about it. So one night I went to go and run around the track at school, and he was there too, the teacher, which is also the coach of the women's tennis team at the school. And he stopped me and he said, hey, I've been meaning to ask you, have you ever considered, or he's like, I've been wanting to ask you if you want to join the women's tennis team for the school. And I kind of just laughed, and I looked around and I was like, are you really talking to me? Because again, I've never been that athletic person. So I'm like automatically thinking like, this has never happened to me, at least not for athletics. And I'm like, is this guy really, really talking to me? And he's like, I'm serious. He's like, I think that if you came to the practices, we would train you. It might be something you enjoy, and I think you could be really good at it. And I just kind of brushed it off, and I automatically disqualified myself. I told him, no, I don't think this is for me. And he said, well, think about it, and I'll contact you in a couple days. So I think that night I even went back to my room, and I don't even think I told my roommate. I may have, but I don't even think I did, because I automatically told myself, no, like, I'm not an athletic person. I've never really been good at this stuff. It's not like, I'm in college. I'm sure some of the girls that are playing are really good. They've been playing for years. It's just not like, am I really going to commit to something like that? Probably not. So I remember a few days after, I even passed by the tennis courts and saw some of the girls on the team playing. And of course, they were amazing. I mean, they were really, really good at it. And that even just for me, I took it as a sign that this just isn't for me. So it like reassured me that I could never do something like this. So he called me and asked me again. He's like, did you think about it? And I said, yeah. And honestly, did I really think about it? No, not really. I pretty much just told myself I couldn't do it. And so I told him, yeah, I don't think this is going to be something I want to do. And he was just like, I really think that you should still think about it. And if you do change your mind, let me know. So, you know, when I look back at that, I am just so amazed, because I didn't even try. I didn't even go to a practice. I didn't even give myself the opportunity to try. And why? It's because I just automatically told myself, I'm not an athletic person. I'm not going to be good at this. It's going to be uncomfortable. I'm probably going to fail. I'm going to suck, and people are going to laugh at me. And I just said no. And I think this is where a lot of people get hung up. When opportunities come in their lives, or there's something that they want to do, but then they convince themselves that they can't because it's not the perfect time, because they don't have everything set up and it's not perfect, because they don't have the skills, or they don't know how. And for me, being in my early 30s, I can definitely look back at plenty of opportunities, situations where I've automatically disqualified myself and didn't even allow myself to try. And it makes me think back at, where could I be now? How could my life be different if I just said yes? If I just gave it a try? I mean, so what if I would have failed? So what if I would have gotten uncomfortable and embarrassed myself? You know, at least I would have known that I tried. So if there's something that you want to try, something that that's been sitting on your shoulders and you're holding back because you think that everything has to be perfect, it has to be the right time, the right opportunity, or you have to know all these skills, just go and do it. Because if there's something you really want to do, you will make it happen no matter what. Don't think about how long it's going to take you. Don't think about how you're going to suck in the beginning, because you probably are. Learn to embrace the failure and just go and do it, because it's better than looking back years from now and feeling in regret. So if this was of value to you, go ahead and like, comment, or share, or tag a friend in the comments that you think would get value out of this. And I do have 3 tips that I use now whenever I'm trying to make a decision on something, and something that I automatically want to say no to. I have these 3 tips that I use to kind of push me through those barriers and get me to do it anyway. So if you want those, go ahead and message me, and I'd love to share those with you. All right, you guys enjoy the rest of your Thursday.